Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football.
Coach, a terrific night for football as EA Sports takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in the capital city of Denver, Colorado. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
Here we go. 70, Indy.
Let's go, deep, tighten up. Let's go, deep, tighten up.
Ready?
On first down, Lock. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. A huge play there right off the bat. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Nick Chubb, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the first-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, 2 traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
First carry for James Conner. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Coming to you. Come on, go. Switch. Hatch it. Okay. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Tight go.
They'll run on first down. It's Brown. The numbers for Brown from a week ago, there was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
first down. It's Brown. Oh, what a juke into space. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And now it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Now a carry for Brown. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Switch gears.
They'll run it here with Brown. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
On second down now, it's Brown, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
We got this.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 31, Locke throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. But now it'll be third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing now is Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he rips that one incomplete there. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Watch twist.
On 3rd down, Brown. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. As he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. Anxious moments there on the fake, but they do get just enough to pick up the 1st down. Now this worked, so I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking too much, but they only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even gone to fake punt formation. This is like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, right? Because they did get it.
It worked. 1st down run for Connor, not going to get much, maybe a yard. 2nd down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run now with Brown. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 18. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Normally, when you run that play on second down, you don't expect to be pushed backwards. But the defense got a strong push up the middle, and he'll wind up losing ground and setting up third down.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. He'll run on third down with Brown. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll look to throw. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They look to throw. It's Locke. His throw incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week, and it hasn't worked. And in fact, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pin right in my name.
He keeps playing like this. He'll be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the 2nd quarter. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. It's Kelsey on the grab. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Escaping the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On second down, it's Brown. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. We'll hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on first down, Locke, Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Let's bring it.
Check it back, check it back.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from their pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the second quarter.
First down, Steelers.
This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They'll run on first down. Brown, and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. The quick slant caught, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Travis Kelce, as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And all the way home for a Broncos score. Nick Chubb in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You got tight right there.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not. A whole lot of room there, but there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey. Under crunch.
On 2nd down now, it's Brown. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Back to throw. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Shotgun snap to Lock. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Batting that one free defensively was Lonnie Johnson.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Break. Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
On third and long, it's Lock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They were winners last week against Cincinnati, and right now they are in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, it's Connor. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Dropped at the 35. Able to display his agility, but not much room to operate. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, it's Connor. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
They will toss to Brown. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. 34 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And again, it's Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A run for Nick Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now to the air, Lock. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Devin Bush in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw it is Lock, and that is incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check 37.
Here's Counter. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down to the 27-yard line. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, Connor. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. They'll run on first down. It's Brown. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
No, off.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On second down, it's Brown, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist yet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Taken in at the 22. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nice.
Here we go. 50 plant.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. A gain of 3, second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7.
Cut.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Steelers on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very strong. Slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Lock now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. The tackler almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size.
Now Locke, he lost the football, it's out. And it looks like Steeler football, it is. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of...
Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Sanders now to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, they're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Here we go, set, 18, Gator. Mike, 54. Keep it up, defense, keep it up, guys.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.